All right, hello everybody. Welcome back to another trading video here. We'll just get right into it. I took a trade on UFAB today. It had a nice pre-market spike here, consolidated and came back down a little bit. And I figured out instead of going back and forth to E-Trade, I can just slide my orders over like this and make it a little easier. So my first buy here was at 9:38 this morning at 386. I was not watching this right out of the open. I was watching MRIN, and then I moved over to this, a few minutes in, and it had already made its first move, and I pretty much moved over to it right as it was making this spike. So I let it kind of go up here. We almost tested 4, and at 9:38 I got in right on this candle here at 386 for a hopeful push through 4, and hopefully testing those pre-market highs there that we ultimately did not get to. And I don't know where that, oh, there it is. And okay, cannot click. So as you can see here, got in at 386, and then I have a couple sales back to back at 399, 399 at 939 and 939 and 941. So basically just into these two pushes to 4, and we were not really breaking through 4. There was a huge wall on the level 2 there, so I was just taking some size off. Even though we were hitting 4, there was so many shares on the ask there that it wasn't selling a ton at 4, and that wall was too big, so I didn't think I'd get executed at 4, so that's why I just took it at 399 and got out of it. But then we did finally kind of push through and hit 404. So as you can see, I do get another buy and buy back 10 more of those shares that I sold at 399, and I got back in at 391, and that was right at 942 here. And that was, right after we pushed through 404 and dropped back down. And I was hoping to, once we actually broke that wall at 4, I thought we could get a bigger push on the next kind of retest of it. And for some reason, that wall came back for a minute there. And then we did finally push through it and hit 408. So didn't get to that 410 level, and then just completely got, I wouldn't say completely destroyed, but a pretty big downwards move there in the minute, down over 40 cents in a minute. Luckily, I was all out of all of my shares except for 10 of them that you can see here, this order that's canceled. I had a limit order for 410. That's what I was hoping that we would at least test that pre-market high. And my plan there was if we hit 410, we might go through it a little bit, but I'm sure that we would kind of drop it back down and consolidate a bit, probably around the $4 level. So that was, what I was hoping for, to get to 410 and then, reconsolidate, add more at 4, and then go for another push. We ultimately did not get that. All the rest of my sales, you can see here, they're all at basically $4 a piece, $3.99, $3.99, buyback at $3.91. 401 I got to sell off, and then 399 and 399 into these pushes. So luckily I only had 10 shares on this giant pullback. I did not panic for once. I did not sell them all the way down here at the very bottom. I was just kind of waiting for a bounce. Generally when you get such a quick pullback, and with all the volume that we had on the day, you just know that there's people, that missed the first move looking for the dip buy and everything. And I should have reloaded into these, into 360 or in the 370s, crossing back over VWAP would have been good. I did not, though. It just kind of spooked me out a little bit. And then eventually I sold my last 10 shares at 947 here, and I ended up getting rid of them at 394 just because we were climbing back in, and then we don't even get to 4 here. And again, that level 2, there's a huge wall at 4, and we bounced off 399, and then we bounced back off 397, so we didn't even retest, and we were coming back down. So I was just like, you know what, I'm just gonna get out of here at 394 and see what it does. Maybe re-enter, if it comes back to that 385 level that I had originally bought at, or if we just kind of get some solid consolidation here. And we actually did get a lot of consolidation here. As you can see, it was just chopping around this area, but I stayed out of it because of this first big pullback, and then we were getting a bunch of downward moves, not not crazy, but they were still, pretty sizable moves below VWAP, and we did continue to recover. But we just weren't making new highs. Even when we pushed through 4, it would just send us right back down. And so for me, that's not really what I wanted to see. I wanted to see us, push 409, push that pre-market high, break it, and then consolidate at or above that $4 level. So the fact that we're consolidating around the 390s, and just staying in this channel and just kind of making lower highs this whole time, and then we start cracking more and more often below VWAP. I did not get in it, and looking back on it, I'm happy I didn't. We get this giant pullback and never really get a bounce until the end of the day. Let's see, just get that out of the way so we can see the volume here. So we did get a ton of volume. It was a really nice morning move, but I just really was expecting more from it. And then we did get some good consolidation here, but it was just a weird level for me, like 320. Didn't really see any reason for this level holding. So I was kind of thinking we'd eventually fade down to 3 and might get a bounce there. But we kept holding and kept holding, and I remember I came back and looked at it around this area here, I believe. I know it was around 328. I don't remember if it was at almost 3 o'clock right here, or it might have been in this consolidation period. And I knew I wasn't going to be able to be at my computer for the rest of the day, and I briefly spoke about trailing stops yesterday, and just trying to use those a little bit more often maybe. And so I did think, I was at 328, I believe it was. And so I was thinking to myself, we've got a low down here of 312, 313. So I was thinking, do I want to just buy into this now and set a 15-cent trailing stop? And that way, if we break low of day, I'll just get out in case we really, fall apart and I'm not at the computer. But if we do get a nice move, then the trailing stop would move me up. I decided against it ultimately, just because, we kept bouncing off of this level here, the 338, 340 area. So to me, I was like, do I want to really buy at 328? Set that trailing stop of 15 cents, because I want to give it enough room to allow a break of the low of day. I don't want to just get cut out and stopped out at like 320 or 318, and then we're still holding that same low. But and then in my mind, if we're pushing 340, not even really getting there, even if we hit 340, then my trailing stop is now going to be moved up to 325, and I'm getting in at 328. Obviously a 3-cent loss isn't like impactful in any way to my account. Like, it's not a big deal to lose 3 cents a share, but I just didn't see the upside. And I mean, unfortunately, we did have some upside there. It wouldn't have been a huge trade because, like I said, with that trailing stop, we got a high of 365, so my trailing stop would have gone up to 350, and I would have been sold out right in this area here at 350. So I mean, I would have made about 22 cents a share if I did pull that, which isn't bad on a $3 stock, and you're still not looking at 10% there, but either was any of my morning moves, so I can't really complain too much about that. But yeah, I ultimately just didn't take it because I knew I wasn't going to be around to watch it, and I just didn't see the upside really with the trailing stop there. Just like I said, if we didn't break through 340, I was pretty much guaranteeing myself a small loss, or we could have just cracked completely, and I could have lost my 15 cents from 328 all the way down to that new low of day. So that was that for me as far as the actual trades that I took. MRIN, if you have been watching my last couple videos, I love MRIN. I've been right from when we got this big move. That was my #1 watch this day. I didn't take it. It had some nice moves. Then I said yesterday it was my #1 watch. If you watched my video from yesterday, I spoke about how my alert went off here. It faded away, so I closed out of it. And then when I came back to make the video around 10 last night, I saw we had a squeeze right into after hours. That would have been perfect. And this is just what MRIN does. And then so we faded last night. When I made the video, we were back around here. So I was hoping that we would fade and then get a red to green move this morning for a squeeze. So that's why I missed the initial move on UFAB here, which was really the good entry. And that's how you would have really made a good percent gain, getting in around this 350, 360 area for the push to 4. But I started off the day watching good old MRIN, and we open and we just drop out immediately, and then we come up and retest VWAP, which is right below that red to green move, and bounce off VWAP, and then we don't get to VWAP, and then we don't get to VWAP again. So I was like, okay, we're not getting this move, at least not quick enough. You can see, we get this big volume right there, and then right the very next minute, the volume's kind of, I don't want to say gone, obviously, but it's fell off from the initial first minute here. So that's when I went over to UFAB, missed the good move on UFAB, got into this consolidation, and when I literally, it must have been like almost the exact minute that I switched over is when it cracks VWAP, and then goes green, and then it's just a beautiful uptrend all day, just hugging VWAP, bouncing off of it there, and just a beautiful, beautiful run. And, I don't want to say I knew that this was going to happen, because if I knew it was going to happen, I would have just been buying in the morning right at the open. But it's just MRIN. If we go back to this yearly, the daily chart here, I mean, just look at the squeeze that it put on already. It has the capabilities to run. It's got only 15 million float. It gets great volume. It's heavily shorted all the time. And I mean, I'm not going to say that I regret it. I just kind of wish I had like 3 more sets of eyes and 4 more hands or something, so I could trade more than one ticker at a time, because I am just not at the level to be able to bounce back and forth if I'm actually in a trade. Like UFAB, for example, once it got up here and I'm playing it and looking to re-enter and get out, I mean, this is literally, I'm laser focused in on this in the level 2, and I can't look at anything else. I know there are, more experienced traders than me that do, trade multiple tickers at a time, and they can kind of just glance at the level 2s and all that. I'm not there yet. So, unfortunately, I did miss this big move, and then it had another, nice move in the afternoon, which I just missed it altogether, didn't see it. But, a nice consolidation here, holding these lows, and then, a decent $1 and a half squeeze. And that is MRIN on the day. AEHR had a nice move. This has been running for a little bit now, and this one was really nice as well. But like I said, obviously only trading one thing at a time, so UFAB had me in the morning. And that's why I thought about doing the trailing stop with UFAB. I just wasn't going to be at the computer consistently enough. But this is a beautiful dip to support right here at $15. You can see these pre-market highs there. And then even here early in the morning, this consolidation basically right at that $15 level. And you get that, and you get it basically tapping 15 right on this dip, taking VWAP, and then you get a nice, $2.25 squeeze here into, or I don't want to call everything a squeeze, but you get a nice run into the close and a nice move in after hours there with AEHR, which, let's see, another 20 million float doing 64 million volume. Just a really nice move there. And then DATS has been another one that has been great since it IPO'd. It's only been on the market since August. Is that August? Yeah, I believe so. August 13th. And it's just uptrended pretty much the whole time. You get a little, I don't know if you would call that much of a dip, but you get a little sideways action there, and then it's just been ripping all week. And so we did have a nice move on it right in the morning. That easy red to green move is a nice 1020 to 1112 or so. 1114 it was. That's a nice move there. And then you get, actually I was watching it here, and it was just bouncing, like it was right on that green to red move, and it held it, and I was just sitting here watching it, and I just didn't take it I had something for work at 12 o'clock, and so I wasn't going to enter a trade right beforehand. But that was a nice move as well. This will definitely be still in play next week, I would think. It's doing really well, and you just don't have any bag holders in it because it's only been on the market for about a month, and it's at all-time highs. So you don't have you don't have any overhead resistance except for the people that chased it up into this $12 area, 11.50, 12. And, I mean, that is just too overextended. I mean, yeah, you get a nice bounce here when it comes back to 1120, back to 12. So that's a decent move. But if you're, I don't know, buying this all up in the 1150s and stuff, I just think, you're just overextended $2 above VWAP. And that's just kind of chasing, in my opinion. And then you do get this pullback. But it'll definitely be in play on Monday, I'm sure. We'll see how it opens. CRVS didn't do anything today. This has been a runner all week, but it may have come to a close, only 4 million volume on the day. So it really dried up here. But you never know with these things. I mean, you do definitely want to keep them on watch still and just see if the volume does start coming in. Because, are we green technically today? I can't see. Get rid. So today was I guess it wasn't really much of a green day. But I was hoping for another red day today, and then that first green day reversal would be nice. But that's still basically in effect. It wasn't much. Let me pull this down and make this a little bit better. But yeah, I mean, I don't understand how this is green on the day. Yeah, I don't know how this candle closed green when we closed here and then closed here. But apparently it's green. But I mean, I'll keep it on watch if volume comes in on it, if it gets pushed down on Monday, or Monday might be a bounce day for it. Who knows? We'll see what it does if the volume just goes away completely. Like I said, only 4 million today. So if that goes any lower, I'm definitely not going to be playing it. But you don't want to write them off too early. This is where, you've got to think shorts are probably attacking this, just thinking it's fading off with no volume. And that's when you can get another, a nice reversal on it. MRM I had yesterday that I didn't play, and today just basically did nothing. And then I have my Twitter call from yesterday, if you saw that, on its news of Bitcoin. And I was I wasn't mad about it, but I was not watching it at all at the open. And we did get this nice push up, and my option was up about 40%. And I didn't even look at it in the morning or set. I should have had a limit sell on it for like, I don't know, I like 30% or something. I mean, I went into this swinging it and hoping that we actually do push 70 next week because we do have good news. So the fact that we're above VWAP and, making new highs today and weekly highs and everything like that and closing pretty strong, I'm hoping that we gap up and get another push on Monday. Maybe I'll look to sell into a morning spike Monday. But if not, I mean, I could see it continuing to uptrend as that news kind of spreads. But yeah, that's pretty much it for me today. I knew I had to kind of get in and attack it in the morning if I was going to trade. I did actually only kind of trade small size on UFAB. Another reason I didn't re-enter was because I did want to leave some money in my account since it is a cash account. I wanted to have some funds available for the afternoon for a potential squeeze like this. And, sometimes work gets in the way of trading, the worst. So I got a little tied up, unfortunately. If I would have known that, I may have played this again in the morning. So, I mean, I guess it works out because maybe I got caught in that downwards pull and I would have lost money. But another green day today. It's been 3 very small green days with a very small size, but 3 straight green days nonetheless. I'll take it and start. I'm not going to start sizing up yet, only 3. But, this weekend, just get into that Excel sheet I kind of brought up and get my tracking going on another level and actually start tracking my patterns a little bit more and things of that nature. And, come back ready to go and better prepared on Monday. Have a good weekend, everybody. Talk to you next time.